Hi, Christine.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's fixed today.
Yes.
I think you have the
How's
wrong
everybody?
link, though. I think you have the wrong link because it says Tatiana under yours. I have to link on the one.
And then maybe your link. I went on the link that you sent, so let me
Oh,
leave and
well,
come
no.
back.
You need to go back on yours.
So, okay, d'accord.
There's one that
I
was
just
sent to you
clicked
like,
on the one you sent.
right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Je vois une chose sur l'écran. Bien à l'envers. Take it out.
Well, hello, and welcome back, everyone. Session 2. Thank you so much to everyone who is logging in here on Zoom for this amazing series. Of course, a huge shout out across all social media, across Haiti, the Haitian diaspora, and of course, the global populace. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us on the Socialbank Future of Banking series, the digital edition. Without further ado, I want to remind you all of this amazing series that's being powered and sponsored by Socialbank. They are a gold sponsor for the Annual Haiti Tech Summit. We're so pleased to work with Socialbank. The second leading bank in Haiti is partnering with us for the second edition of Haiti Tech Summit this year. And they're doing a phenomenal series. As you're aware, the future of banking is changing. We live in a dynamic landscape, and we need experts and pioneers, influencers to discuss what would the connection with the banking sector look like, from your finances to the ecosystem to the economy. We have lined up an amazing influencers, the Socialbank community, to come right here to your room to have this phenomenal series conversation. Last week, we kicked off with none other than Michael Verge, the CIO of Socialbank, with the first session, Embracing and Becoming Digital. There was over 300 powerful influencers around the world who joined us on this session, and of course, over 3,000 viewers on social media who engaged on this kickoff series. A lot of great feedback, a lot of great questions, and we're back at it again for the second powerful session. This one is going to be an amazing treat. You already know Socialbank's theme. Socialbank, always by your side. This is an amazing, amazing, powerful premise by Socialbank. This is going to be moderated by the one and only Christine Coupet-Jacques, the CEO of Annual Haiti, who needs no introduction, followed up by her panelist speakers, Didier, Alain, Senior Consultant at Group Socialbank, and Tatiana Policard, Chief Commercial Officer at Socialbank, are going to be our speakers for today. And so with that, I want to give them a warm welcome as I pass it over to our amazing moderator of the day, Christine Coupet-Jacques. Over to you, and congratulations, everyone, for joining us on this amazing series. Back over to you, Christine Coupet, and welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you to the entire Haiti Tech Summit team. And thank you to the Socialbank team for this wonderful opportunity for the second edition of the Future of Banking series powered by Haiti Tech Summit. I did get a message from Didier before we get started that he's not on his panelist link. I privately messaged Leticia to see if we can send it back to him. So if we could get that going on your side, that would be great before we get started. So thank you everyone that's joining. I see on the chat that we have people joining from all over the world. This is wonderful and exciting. We have a wonderful panel planned today with Tatiana Policard, the Chief Commercial Officer of Socialbank. I'm going to let Tatiana introduce herself first.
Thank you, Christine and Christine, for this introduction. Good morning, everyone. I am Tatiana Policard Bernadel, Chief Commercial Officer at Socialbank. I am delighted to participate in this session in prelude to Haiti Tech Summit 2020. Now, a bit of history about myself. I joined the Socialbank group in April of 2020. Actually, today makes it exactly 5 months since I joined this amazing team. Coming from commercial management, marketing, and PR from industries as diverse as local production and distribution and telecom. In the CCO role at Socialbank, I am leading an amazing team of professionals, handling customer relations, corporate customer relations, customer service, and product management and development. I am very, very excited to share with you today how Socialbank, through technological innovation, is impacting the banking sector in Haiti.
And now we have Didier with us, finally. I can see you now, who's a senior consultant in digital channels and IT technology. Didier, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself as well?
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. I had a little tech fright, as usual. If you don't have an issue, it wouldn't be technology. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm honored to be part of the IT Tech Summit prelude chats. I am the digital channel consultant at Socialbank. I'm the one who worked on the Socialbanking, the new Socialbank online banking platform, and the new Socialbank app. And before that, I had experience in telecom, retail, distribution, and I have a small technology company. And I'm honored to be with you this morning.
Wonderful. Thank you, Didier and Tatiana. And thank you for everybody who's participating. I see we have almost 180 people already logged in for this conversation. So we're going to jump right in. So we've both been, the whole world has been going through this COVID-19 pandemic, and the world is shifting. We're all conscious of this new normal, which is changing every day, which continues to define itself. It's an ever-changing world, and this is, I think, a unique moment in history where we're constantly adjusting to this new normal. I'm sure it's no different in the banking and fintech industry. I'm sure the ecosystem has gone through maybe even more than what other more typical industries are going through. And the Socialbank slogan, which is Socialbank toujours à côté, or Socialbank always by your side, is even more relevant today in this new normal. So today I'm gonna go ahead and ask Didier and Tatiana some questions, and then towards the end we'll take some questions from the public. I see already on the Q&A board that we're already getting some questions, so we'll get to that a little bit later. We'll start maybe with Didier. Didier, now that the banking ecosystem is shifting in a way that technology plays a more and more important role, have you noticed a shift in consumer habits at Socialbank? And how do you think the Haitian customer is adjusting to this new normal?
Thank you, Christine, for this very important question. First of all, we have to look at things in two folds. The first thing is the evolution of where we have been and where we are today. And the second fold is the acceleration of technology usage after and during the COVID-19 pandemic. So Socialbank was the first to innovate, and we launched our online banking platform in 2004. It was the first bank to launch such a platform. To be honest, the service was new. It was not necessarily used. Today, when I put my servers down for 10 minutes to do a maintenance, I get 65 calls personally. So that means people have changed considerably. They are relying more and more on the service, on the technological services that we offer, online banking, the application, the ATM network, everything that is remote, that is branchless, has become much more important. Now, let me go take 2 seconds to talk about the Haitian consumer. I'm looking at a chart right now. Today in Haiti, we have 2 million users of social media. We have 3.68 million people with internet connection on and off. You have 900,000 Moncash, which is the digital wallet, active users. So the landscape has considerably changed. And I can tell you, before the pandemic, the Moncash users were there, but they were not active. Today, you have 900,000 active. And of course, as you know, we have integrated Moncash as part of the Socialbank ecosystem on the online banking platform. And today, the first week of launching Moncash, we have 35 million goods of transaction. So technically, overall, I think not only the market has shifted, but the Haitian consumer has embraced the technology, and now we can no longer afford to be outside of that game. So that's my 2 cents for now. Tatiana, I don't know if you want to add something.
No, you've spoken about, you've said it all, Didier, with regards to, how we're adapting to this changing world.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right into a question with Tatiana. In a lot of places in the world, you can open a bank account online. What's preventing us in Haiti, and how should Haiti's legal framework change to make this happen?
Again, Christine, this is a wonderful question. It's a very important question, which is very often asked of us. And to give you a brief history of the legal, the regulatory framework with which we're working, in 2010, in order to promote financial inclusion, BRH, which is the Haitian Central Bank, which sets the regulatory framework for how banks are to operate within the country, they introduced the concept of banque à distance. Now, this concept, this legislation, basically authorized and encouraged banks to allow agents to offer basic banking services, such as account opening, cash withdrawal services, and cash deposits. Now, although a positive step towards, facilitating greater access to banking services, in general, this regulation does not promote, mobile or internet banking, which, actually offer financial institutions, numerous opportunities. For example, creating a branchless experience that minimizes cash management and security risk, addresses branch congestion and delivers a better customer experience, and also allows for the development of new channels that for existing and new, products, financial products and services. So, in reality, improving the regulatory framework, improving and reinforcing and adapting the regulatory framework requirements to accept, for example, the safe electronic transfer of online documentation, as well as the implementation of digital identity verification, supporting that digital identity verification, the implementation of laws on electronic signatures for the protection of both the financial institution and the consumer, digitizing KYC procedures. All these, if they were to be put in place, supported and implemented, would facilitate and encourage digital banking in Haiti. I don't know, Didier, if you want to rebut.
This is perfect.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Tatiana. I think that we do see a big shift, as Didier mentioned earlier, in the customers adopting the new technology, but I still feel like the market is still very much attached to cash transactions, and that we have a long ways to go before we can get fully cashless and where people are completely adopting different means of electronic payments, So I think we have a long ways to go. I'm going to continue with a question for Tatiana again, if you don't mind. Banking as we know it is changing before our eyes with the advances in technology and telecommunication. How is Socialbank currently responding and preparing for these changes? And what is the response of the clientele towards your new launched initiatives?
Well, this is
as a commercial.
Well, again, this is a great question. And Didier kind of brushed up on it earlier in his answer, but I will elaborate a little bit. As a commercial officer, chief commercial officer for Socialbank, I can tell you that Socialbank is definitely dedicated to deliver tech-savvy solutions to respond to the new needs, to the new customer needs. Now, just to give you an idea of innovation and solutions that we've brought forth in the past few months, I can say. We will launch in February our mobile application, which is an extension of Socialbanking, which is the online platform. That allows our retail customer to do most basic transactions, such as account-to-account transfer, third-party transfers, top-up of cell phones, credit card payments, and from their cell phone or tablets. And our corporate customers also being able to manage their business accounts from wherever and whenever they are. We brought them solutions such as online payroll, and also online transfers. These are readily available. Now, in May of 2020, again, Didier spoke about it, through our partnership with Digicel, we launched great success, the bank-to-wallet service, where Socialbank customers, through access to their online accounts online, are able to do transfers from their bank account to their own wallet, which is someone else's wallet. We also launched last week, just last week, a payment platform, which is SocialPay, which is a service that allows our integrated partners and merchants to accept credit and debit card transactions online. Now, Didier mentioned, yeah, it's a great service, and it was a need in this market. We are getting a lot of requests, from customers, from merchants, who want to integrate that platform. Didier mentioned earlier that the COVID crisis kind of accelerated the need for those solutions, because customers, they adopted, they quickly realized, what online services facilitated for them. So this has pushed us at Socialbank to be more proactive, and has helped us accelerate the development of solutions. Now, you asked about our customers. Enthusiasm, a lot of enthusiasm, they embraced those new solutions, even the ones that were a bit reticent, because technology some people, they're very old school. They want to do things the way they're used to doing it. And they're very reticent when it comes to new technology. Even these people are now asking and bringing forth ideas for us to work on and to deliver for them. And I believe that this is making us, much more creative and encourages us as a team at Sogebank to deliver on those needs and those solutions.
I think it's wonderful. I totally, from the outside, feel this dynamic of change and the putting, your customer voice at the center of your decisions. And I think if COVID has had a positive impact, it's forced companies to get closer to their client, to understand their changing needs and adapt quickly to those changing needs. I'm going to dig a little bit with Didier on your mobile service. Socialbank has recently won a very prestigious award, the Profit Award of the Best Online Banking Platform. What do you think distinguished the Socialbank platform from other services in Haiti? Before you answer, Didier, I have a couple of people commenting that they don't speak English. We're very sorry about that, but Haiti Tech Summit, since their launch, has been happening in English, and we're doing this as a prelude to Haiti Tech Summit. Hopefully, we can take some questions in Creole maybe towards the end, but the main language for Haiti Tech Summit is English. Go ahead, Didier. So tell us about this, what distinguished your online platform from other local platforms or even international platforms in this.
Yes. Thank you, Christine. First of all, you made the transition perfectly, because the main difference is that that platform was built with the customer in mind. It is a technical project. I will go on the technical side afterwards, but the platform itself, when I was conceiving it and what I wanted to do is have everything at maximum 3 clicks. You don't need to have more than 3 clicks to reach anything in the platform. That's the number one thing. The second thing is that the interface is uniform. If you know how to do one transaction, you can do all the transactions, because we respect the same architecture, and we have on the interface a level of simplicity that was not only needed, but that was demanded by the clients, especially the clients that are reticent to use technology. And I've received many compliments from older crowds saying that compared to the other competitors, that our platform was really the simplest to use in terms of transacting. The third thing is our openness. Socialbank is the first to have done it. We have opened our platform to the API of Western Union, and our users and our customers can now send and receive money transfers to Western Union directly from the online banking. We have also opened our API to Moncash, and we are integrated with Moncash. And now our customers can also send money to Moncash. And this is only the beginning. As Tatiana mentioned, we are also using SogePay. This will probably have an integration with our online banking. And all of these, in terms of the package, the way it was designed with specifically the end user, not the technical team, but the end user in mind, gave us an edge. And the fact that the platform works and is functioning, and we can see every month the increase in users, the increase in transactions, the increase in the performance of the platform. And guess what? Although I'm very proud that we have won that award, I can tell you that I'm already working on phase 2. And the phase 2, it's going to be even much better, because the phase 2 is it's all the customers' feedback that I've received that I've incorporated. And we will launch features from September 30th until November, the end of November. You guys will see all of the comments will be implemented one after the other, and I'm already working on it. So I can tell you that we are not sitting on our victory. We want to get better, and we want to do better.
I take it you're getting ready to win this again next year. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to see that despite a difficult business climate and despite, the impacts of this pandemic on the world, that Socialbank's young team is is staying very on top of things and continuing to make all the efforts to bring the necessary changes to satisfy their clients. So congratulations. I look forward to version 2 of your mobile service and your platform, and take this time to encourage all current Socialbank clients who are not yet enlisted in the service to enroll right now, or if you're not a Socialbank client, to become one to get access to this wonderful service. So we're going to go back to Tatiana with the question on more innovations, and what are innovations that you've proposed, and how do they address the needs of your clients, because you're getting so close to your clients. And also, how does the relationship between an account manager in your commercial department change with their client now through this digital world?
Well, in terms of recent innovations, we kind of touched on it earlier, Didier and I, so I'm just gonna, talk about it a little bit again. The launch of Socialbank's mobile application, which gives all of our, subscribers access to their accounts. They can manage their accounts, they can see what's happening, they can manage their resources. And that's for both the retail customer and the corporate customer. Our corporate customers now manage their resources, from whenever they are and whenever they want. A solution such as online payroll is a wonderful solution, because, prior to having it online, it would take 24 hours for the payroll to be posted. Now it only takes a matter of minutes. Plus, the customer is in charge of his payroll. He initiates it, and he gets a report at the end telling him, hey, everything's done. And the accounts are credited like that. It's a wonderful service. And also the launch of the services that we spoke about, such as the bank to wallet with Digiselmo Cash, and SogePay. Now, you spoke about the digitization of the transactions and how it's changing, and has it changed the relationship between the account manager and the customer? Actually, I don't feel that it has. It has, the account manager remains the most important link between the customer and the bank. And the account manager is basically the administrator of the customer's portfolio. What has changed, however, is that, this digitization, it's a heavy word, has facilitated and rendered the transactional process more efficient and timely. And, I spoke about the online payroll, which now happens in a matter of minutes as opposed to the 24-hour process. And also, the account manager's role today, as you said earlier, is to is to better understand the customer's need. And, once he understands it, is to come back to the team and share it with them. And it's up to us now to deliver the solution to respond to that need. So actually, as you said, it brings us closer in terms that, we're not talking about basic transactions or, what I can do for has this check been deposited? Has this transfer been done? This happens as well. However, since the customer is now initiating most of this transaction on his own, now the conversation is, what can I do to make your business run smoother? What do you need in terms of information? What type of service can we offer, for the type of industry that you're in? And this is a conversation now that our account managers are having with their customers, and I think we're all benefiting from it.
I have a lot of questions from the public already. We're being swamped, and since there are follow-up questions to the themes that we're looking at now, I'm going to direct the questions, and you both feel free to answer or complete each other's answers. So we have a question from someone in the
We can hear you, Christine. We're not hearing you. Christine, on t'entend plus. We're not hearing you, Christine. We stop hearing you.
Christine, you are on mute. It might be your mic, your headphones.
No, we can't hear you.
It's your headphone now. All right, ladies, as we engage for Q&A, coming in for the live feed, I'll jump in right in to start asking some of these questions. Again, there's a lot of questions coming on the chat feed right now as we wait for Christine Coupet to come back on. And one of the questions that's coming from Marie Ferdinand, is there a way to withdraw or wire money online and send funds from Socialbank account to an account in the United States? This is a diaspora question. Anyone could take it.
Of course.
Didier,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes, the answer is yes. We do have the wire transfer via the SWIFT technology available online. You can definitely debit your Socialbank account and send money anywhere in the world, including the United States. Definitely. This is part of the platform and has been a part of it for a long time now.
Next question here. This is coming from Abigail. I was excited when you launched the bank to wallet with Mon Cash. Thank you so much for that. When will we hope to have the reverse? I mean, a wallet to bank alternative.
Well, we are actively, Abigail, thank you for the question. We are actively working on that solution. And I know Didier and his team are again, dedicated to bring this forth, in a timely manner. So we will not, we don't have a launch time as of yet, but, definitely this is in the pipeline. This is one of those, innovations that we're working on in partnership with Digicel.
And I think I'm going to pass it over to Christine Coupet. And nous avons une question de français as well.
Okay, can you hear me now? I'm back?
Yes,
perfect.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, perfect. I have a question from Ralph Metellus about SogePay. Is SogePay a digital wallet? If so, how does Sogebank intend to use it to make the Haitian people understand the technological evolution of the banking sector?
SogePay is not a digital wallet. SogePay is a payment platform, okay? So basically what SogePay does is permits, integrated merchants and partners to accept debit and credit card transactions online. That's what it is. It basically is an online, point of sale. That's
Okay,
what it is.
To put it in simple terms that are not so techy, this means that Dagmar's website, which has been one that's more of an informative presence online, could now process orders and actually complete transactions for our customers using their debit or credit cards directly on our website.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it means.
We could connect with you and set up an API with our website so that we can now receive payments online. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Guy Laroche has an interesting question. Digital banking is definitely the future of banking. Does Socialbank plan to leverage its digital strategy to make credit more available to the mass and become a creator of value? I don't know which one of you wants to take this question.
How would I put it? We're not really credit, Didier and I, we're not really the credit, experts. However, in the context of digital banking, I don't think that's digital banking is what's going to make it more available. I think in general, it's a matter of strategy, and I don't know if the economic environment has something to do with it as well. I understand that there were plans in the past to establish a credit bureau, that would facilitate, the study of someone's credit history, and based on that, to open the credit market. I don't know where that's at. Again, we're not experts. I don't know if Didier has something to add to it, but
Yes,
that's
certainly.
what I have.
But the question, I think, was geared toward the usage of technology to enable providing credit. What you said is exactly the constraint and exactly why this is taking time to be marketed. And even if we have the technology, because right now we're working on upgrading certain systems where it will be possible to have specialized and personalized offers, where if you already qualify with existing customers, we will be able to enable, and once you accept the offer, automatically the loan will be dispersed, it will be available for you. But this is the technology side of it. However, as Tatiana mentioned, the regulatory side, the credit bureau side, the data collection side is very hard, it's very difficult, and today it's I think this is where the challenge lies more than within the digitalization of giving credit. I think we are more or less 12 months away from having the capacity to do digitalizations of credit. 12 to 18 months, let's say.
I also think, if I may jump in here, that the fact that you're making, all this technology, getting you closer to the client, you are in somewhat affecting the unbanked to give them access to more banking facilities and more banking services. And that credit will automatically become easier once they have an established relationship with the bank, and that even if you don't have, a big credit history as you see with credit bureaus and things, but that once they have an established, more formal history with the bank, that they could have access to certain services, at least from a step-by-step standpoint. I do have a question from someone in Creole, so I don't know if you guys can take this question in Creole and maybe address it in Creole quickly. Si m gen yon kob sou kont mon cash mwen, m'ta vle depose sou kont mwen nan Sogebank, est-ce que c'est possible, est-ce que c'est facile, et est-ce que m'a paye yon frais pour ça?
Bon, et jodian, m'a pris pour une question ça, Christine. Jodian, nous pouvons faire un transfert de compte mon cash vers compte Sogebank. Mais ça, c'est une alternative, son service sur lequel nous travaillons tous les jours, et c'est une qui une réalité bientôt. Donc, petite patience, et puis très bientôt, on n'a pas fait ce genre de transaction. Ça, côté, on n'a pas transféré comme de mon cash nous, de portefeuille mon cash nous, vers compte banque nous dans Socialbank.
All right, Didier, you have a lot of work for you. You have a lot of things. I hope you guys are taking note of all this feedback and all these questions coming.
These
your
are to the challenge, Christine.
And your public have very high expectations of Socialbank and the upcoming services. What about Socialbank without branches? How would that look like in the future? I mean, you're looking at complete online banks in the future. Where do you think Socialbank stands? How far are we from something like that?
Well, according to the World Economic Forum, the banking industry is going through, the fourth industrial revolution right now. And with the advent of fintechs, with, as you mentioned, higher customer expectations, where everything is faster, everything is cheaper, and everything is more convenient. The rise of mobile internet, technology, where, most people, I think Didier mentioned the stats in the beginning, most people are walking around with a smartphone, with access to all this information, like a mini computer, in the palm of your hand, and the relaxing of regulations in certain countries, which make digital transactions a lot more available and possible. Now, Haiti, though, is a very, very cash-intensive country and economy. Although, we with the introduction of the mobile wallet and digital banking, some digital banking, more needs, to be done still in terms of education. We're talking general and financial education, availability and promotion of cashless services and digital services, digital wallets, accessibility to reliable and efficient internet access, and obviously, a relaxing of the regulatory requirements, relaxing or adapting of the regulatory framework, while at the same time strengthening the laws that are going to protect the consumer and the financial institution. Now, it may be possible in the mid to long term to have less branches because of the intensification of digital transactions and online and mobile banking and increased use of digital money. However, I don't foresee a branchless Sogebank anytime soon, though, unfortunately. Well, that's my opinion. I don't know, Didier, what do you think?
Well, I think that we still have, like I said before, people who are still very much attached to cash, and that at some point we're still heavy users of checks. When I pull out a checkbook in the US, people laugh. They're like, what? You still use checks? So in Haiti, it's still a very common practice. And so you do need that physical contact. It eventually will evolve, but it'll take a few years, in my opinion. I have a couple of questions for Didier. One, there's been a lot of movement in the tech ecosystem in Haiti the past 4 or 5 years. I think there's a lot more trainings available. There's a lot of conversations happening. There's a lot of people getting involved in the tech world, in the fintech world. How difficult has it been for Sogebank to find resources, to find people, build a tech team? Didier, that's for you.
Listen, as with every type of resources in Haiti, it is something that is the primary concern, and it is what makes the difference. As you can see, Tatiana and I are on the call right now with you, and we are both fairly new. I started in 2017, and she started 5 months ago. So that means we still have good people, and we are still searching for good people, and we will find good people. As you know, Socialbank in 2017 started with the Stéphane Bruno initiative, where we are the main sponsor of a tech fair where you have young talents that come and they present and they design applications, website and whatnot. And honestly, we have hired a few of them already, and we will keep hiring when we find the best talents and the people that are interested in participating. The second thing is, today I'm with you as a member of Socialbank on a panel talking about technology that we again are sponsoring, which shows you that Socialbank is not only present, but we understand the critical factor of building the ecosystem. And I cannot end by not talking about Bunge with Marc-Alain. This is another partnership we have as Socialbank. This is all of this for ecosystem that we're building on the technology, because we know two things. Number one is that innovation within a bank is not going to be as fast as outside of a bank. Remember, what we are selling as a bank is solidity. We are selling safety. We are selling trust. So every time I put a product outside, it has to be tested. The security has to be on par. Everything has to be working, and I have to be able to give and provide the service. Protect your money at all costs. So we are building all the resources needed outside, because the flexibility to do a lot of things outside is easier, and then we bring it back inside once it's ready, tested, and good to go. And I think that's a perfect approach. Although I'm talking about outside, we are also building the team within, as you can see, and I've just showed you multiple examples. And I can even conclude with the new CIO that we have that has been there for 1 year, Michael, that is a very excellent CIO, and the bank is moving. Listen, we have all resources are becoming new, and we are doing what we have to do.
As you move with Sogebank, you're shaking the ecosystem. This is wonderful. You're pushing initiatives such as Haiti Tech Summit, which has been a big shaker in the tech ecosystem in Haiti, as well as pushing people like Bunge, who I call a baby of Haiti Tech Summit, because Bunge was actually launched the first year of Haiti Tech Summit. I have a couple more questions. Didier, people are asking, with all of this technology investment and all of this important role that technology is playing, what are you doing in terms of security to make sure that your clients' transactions are safe?
Well, listen, this is exactly why projects inside the bank take a long time. There is a lot of testing going on. There is a lot of different patches needed. There is a lot of various, listen, when we test for the mobile application, for instance, we have to use almost all kinds of different mobile phones and versions and softwares and what we call the firmware. We have to test different scenarios, and this is probably what the main battle of the 21st century is, how to not only keep moving forward, but at the same time doing it in a safe manner where the customer is always protected. I can tell you that the technology choice that the bank has made and in the past and continue to make is the best that we can, and we are one of the 3 banks that use this type of technology in Haiti. We are using very secure servers. We are using a very secure database type. We have a relationship with IBM regarding the way we store data. So technically, we are taking all these steps, and that's exactly why every time I announce something coming out, it takes a long time. There is a long process. And we have also the risk and conformity inside the bank that we have to respect. We have also to respect the conformity from the central bank. We have to respect conformity from our banking partners outside, that the foreign banking partners. This is not a simple straightforward operation like people might think. You know, when you're running a business, you have hands-on, you can do this, you can do that. The bank is a different type of business and it's a different type of approach, especially in the technological side of it. So I want people to understand that this is the main focus usually when we are doing these projects.
Yeah, definitely.
Christine, your earphone is gone again. Yes. No. No, you're not out.
All right. While we wait for it to come back in, I'll jump back in again and just continue on the Q&A because it is a lot of questions on the chat feed. So the next question we have here is, this one's coming from David. We are a technology company, analystintel.com, with a focus on financial solutions in the States. The most frequent challenge we come across relates to data consolidation or data management and automation. How is Socialbank dealing with this challenge as a bank and a leading bank in the country?
This is, that person knows what they're talking about, so I thank you for the question. As this is the primary focus besides the security. Why? We are a bank that has 35 years of existence. We were using legacy systems. So now you have 35 years of habits of inputting data in the system and inputting information in various ways at various time period. So there is definitely, today we are automating the process to prevent data errors. So the data, when entered, when collected, has to respect a structure. However, you are completely right in putting your fingers that there is existing data that will have to be cleaned and modified to fit the new API-based world that we are in right now. And this is definitely a challenge, but we will do it as we are upgrading our systems and upgrading even the core banking soon. All of this is part of the bigger scope. And once we have the data where we want it, we will definitely keep not only the process of controlling how the data is entered, but mainly building the big data collection centers, data warehouses, and improving and coming in with data analytics. So technically, it is a concern. We are working towards it. It's not perfect, but we're getting much better at it.
Okay, I want to know if I'm back with my mic.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Yes. Wonderful. We have a lot of questions still coming from the public. I'm going to ask Didier and Tatiana before we end the session to put their contact information. We have a couple questions for commercial that are coming about personal matters. For Maria Ferdinand, for example. I'd rather not take them up. I want to follow up with offers. We have a couple of potential fintech partners that want to get in contact with you. So Didier and Tatiana, I'm going to ask you when you can to get on the chat and share your contact information. We have a question from Alexandra that's asking if you have any plans to transform all cards into one unique bank card that will allow them to access all their accounts. Well, Tatiana, you want to take that?
Yes. You know, we are working on a lot of projects and on a lot of exciting projects. I don't want to tip our hand today. I just want to tell our clientele and those of you out there that, you know, want to become our clients, that we have a lot of good stuff in store. And I'm just going to ask, you know, I'm just going to ask you guys to be patient because lots of good stuff is going to be coming out. You see how passionate Didier and I are about our work at Socialbank. This is the same passion that we put in making sure that we're going to be delivering products that are going to satisfy your needs and respond to, you know, to all your desiderata. So just be a little patient and good things are going to be, you know, coming.
I understand that very strategic answer, Tatiana. I think the most important point here is to let the clientele know and let the public know that you guys are actively every day committed to working and bringing new services and products, and that you've made all the efforts recently to get closer to your customer, to understand their needs, and that you are open to feedback. This type of platforms allow us to see what the customer needs. I'm sure this Alexandra, who asked about the unique card, is a customer that must be handling multiple cards. And if you weren't yet working on it, this is probably something you should start taking a look at because your customers are asking. We have a lot of questions from some of the followers that are logged in from Africa, wanting to know if Socialbank has any plans to launch in African markets and how Socialbank can potentially service the African market. So I don't know which one of you wants to take a look at that for now.
Didier, you want to take a shot at that?
Oh yeah, certainly. Technically, we as someone from Africa might know, in Haiti we have our hands full and we have a lot to manage, and we are definitely working towards modernizing and digitalizing and the digital transformation of Socialbank. But I can guarantee you one thing: once the bank is that digital transformation is in place, we become more agile, we become more flexible. There is nothing to say that we will not be looking at other markets. I probably think we will start with the region, but Africa and African countries, we have so much similarities in terms of our people, in terms of the way, except that you guys are much bigger geographically than we are. But with technology, who knows? For today, I doubt that this is something that is in the pipeline for us for the time being.
Wonderful. How are we doing on time? We have another 10 minutes. So I encourage people, if they have some last questions. Some of the questions that I see coming up here have already been answered, and maybe you can re-look at the video.
I wanted to add something on the card question. I think it was Alexandra that asked that question regarding the single card.
Yes.
I want to comment on one thing. Remember, the card is just a medium. It is just a way to access your accounts and to access the bank's product. So think in terms of, you can have a wallet, which is an application in your phone that can handle all your cards and all your banking products and all the way what we offer technically. So you have technically not only a single card, but technically I call it a single point of service. So there is no way to escape going in that route. There's no way to escape it. That means the relationship will go through certain channel, but it has to be universal and uniform. And definitely you have apps and you will have single cards or single contactless devices, because it can be a ring, it can be a bracelet, it can be your watch, it can be a lot of things these days. So it's just a question of enabling the customer to access their account their way, when they want it, the way they want it. And this is where we go to the bank of the future, which is a personalized bank. And that's why I don't want to say that we will have full branchless banks. That's not going to be the case. You have various customers that have various needs. And what we want to do actually is to have exactly the right personal product that one client needs. And every client can have their own choice and their own way of banking. And we have to be able to offer it. You want to go to the branch, we'll offer you a 5-star experience. You want to stay and use the app, you'll still have the same 5-star experience. If you want to use the internet banking, you'll have it. If you go to an ATM, you'll have it. You can go to a teller machine, a specialized ATM cashless, you can do it as well. So there is a lot of needs, there is a lot of different type of customers. And I think the bank of the future, it will be personalized. So people will use the product as they want. And where they want and the type of product they want. It's not going to be one size fits all anymore. My 2 cents.
I think that's wonderful, because I think the consumer today is expecting, a customized experience. Nobody wants something. I even saw an ad a couple of days ago that insurance is no longer, packages that are the same for everyone, and now you can have your own customized insurance package. We have a couple of questions. I'm going to take two more questions before we leave. The first one is for Tatiana. We have a client asking whether it's possible to transfer money from a US Socialbank account to a Socialbank Gourds account using Socialbanking. So I think they want to know if they can do
An exchange.
Exchange, yes.
Yes, absolutely. It is possible. You just go to transfer. You put the account, the US account as the main, as the account to be debited, and the Gourds account as the account to be credited, and the transaction will happen and your account will be credited. It's as simple as that. Transferring money from one account to the next, and you know the exchange, the money exchange is going to happen then. The trade is going to happen.
I want to add a small thing. Is sometimes we get a message that this is subject to availability during the high volatility of the market, such as the one we just witnessed from 123 to 115 to 110 to 100 to 98, now 87. So we have a move that is an abnormal move in the market, and people have to understand that at which point the system and the treasurer of the bank has the right to say, listen, I'm putting on a hold on it. They can authorize it. They can authorize it on demand, but sometimes when the market is too volatile, the bank reaches what they have to offer online, because each channel has whatever has an amount that is offered. So online, we do have an amount that is offered. So you can have clients that say, I tried and it's not working. It's not that it's not working, it's that the limit has been reached for the day. Sometimes during the day, the treasurer will put more funds available depending on how much we buy and how much we sell. Remember, this is the exchange is a market. That means it's something that we have to buy because we have the obligation to keep a zero balance position when the day ends. So if I'm buying $1 million on that side and I cannot sell it, the central bank will penalize me at the end of the day, and they will take it at their own book rate, and therefore we are affected. So they have to understand this is a very close dynamic, and it's not the system itself that cannot do it, it's that there are limits, and the limits we have to respect for not only risk management, but for BRH also.
All right, so somebody was asking a question. I just got a ton of questions come up. There are a lot of questions about crypto, but I was going to first ask a question about the potential integration of a service like PayPal with Socialbank. Is that something we can look at in the future? Is that something?
The PayPal is something that I would love to have in Haiti. To be honest, I would love to have it, and then instead of having SocialPay, we do a PayPal Pay or SocialPayPal or whatever type of thing like that. But remember, the first that I mentioned in the first question or the second question, I think we had is the regulatory environment. PayPal is not part of Haiti because we are lacking the proper regulatory environment to protect the not only the companies, the consumers. We do have electronic signature, but I don't think we have the decret application. We do have some work to do on that end, because these companies, they require the legal framework to be in place before they can even think about coming somewhere. I think the opportunity is there, the market will be interesting, but we really need to get going on the framework, on the legal framework.
For Tatiana, from a client probably abroad, can we have a real chat customer service and social banking for people not living in Haiti? Because sometimes I need something important, but the bank requirements, the bank requires me to be there in person. Maybe something as simple as a bank statement. So how could you help somebody from a distance with something?
Well, we do have a customer service center, which is always available, and that can be reached at contact@socialbank.com. Actually, that's the email address that I put in the chat for all the questions and suggestions to be sent to us, to myself and Didier, to this address. So, if you are in the States and you need information on your account, you can always write to us at contact@socialbank.com. We will respond to you and even call you if need be to try and resolve whatever issue that you have, or make sure that you can have access to the information that you need. as far as a chat room, again, Didier is the manager of that platform, and he's the, the techie. So I'm gonna let him answer, as far as the technical side of it.
Yes, technically, this is something that is available today. It's something that we can add, but remember when you add a chat bot or a chat option, you need the resources, you need to plan the resources, people need to be trained, and technically today, you give the right channel to use is to send us an email, or they can call also, or at the call center directly. And usually we do provide services that way. We can send it via email. Sometimes we even go overboard and send a document via DHL to accommodate certain clients. And this has happened in the past. It's just on a case-by-case basis, and we can certainly find solutions for someone that is abroad. We have done it before, and we will keep doing it.
We have 5 minutes. We're going to take a question from our Facebook platform at Socialbank, from Philemon Saint-Jean. In terms of IT security, does Group Socialbank earn any standard certifications from ISO that validates the level of security your information system and infrastructure comply with? Didier, I'll take it that you have to answer that, and then we have one more question before we close this.
Technically, this is for my security team. I don't know all the certification we have, but I can tell you that we are working towards a standard these days. We are implementing a new standard, and we respect, obviously, all the requirements for banking. And as far as the ISO, I don't think we are ISO. I don't know if that's something in the pipeline, but I will have to ask the direction of security of the bank. I don't know. Really, I cannot give you I don't know. I don't know what we have. I know we have certification. I don't know what they are.
Oh, wonderful. I think we could probably come back to the public with that. I'm certain that members of your team, if you're making so much investment in technology, that they're certainly making sure that transactions are safe and that the bank is using the highest standards available in the industry in Haiti. So I'm going to have one last question. Maybe both of you can answer it before we shut this down. It's been a wonderful chat. I think it's been very informational for our public, not only in Haiti, but for everyone from around the world listening to us about the evolution of the banking sector and all the new things that you guys have in the pipeline. We're very excited to see all the surprises that Tatiana would not tell us about yet. But looking forward to even more services and more fintech solutions from Socialbank to the public. Banking 2035, Socialbank 2025. What does that look like to you guys? 10, 15 years down the pipeline, a lot of work.
Oof. Didier, since it's all based on technical advancement, I will let you answer that. But I mean, we don't even know what the next 2 years are going to bring about. Things are moving so fast in terms of technology. I'm remembering, I don't know, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were thinking, oh, did we have cell phone back then? And I was in high school. We didn't have cell phone when I was in high school. So things are moving so fast that all I can say is that all these advancements, and at least at Sogebank, we have our customers at the center of all those, of all those technological advancements and solutions that we're bringing about. This is what we are focusing on. Now, whatever comes about and suits the needs and delivers solutions to what our customers need, this is what we'll bring about. Didier, I'll let you talk about 2030 and 2035 because.
Yes, technically, I think we brushed on the subject shortly at some point in one of the questions. The reality is banks are a very conservative environment, and for good reason, and I believe that they should be. However, the speed at which technology is evolving around us is forcing us to, I'm not saying revise only, but change completely the business models to some extent. So imagine something that you go to a branch in 2035. As you go and you get out of your car or you walk by the branch, the camera outside capture your face and already know who you are. So when you enter the branch, someone greets you by the name and they already know why you're here because you took that appointment by internet banking. And now they are ready to serve you. And when you get in, they already know what you're here for, who you are, what you do, what you want, what is your level of income, what you are. And instead of you asking me for something, I proactively offer you a product. So technically, this is where we're going. And the product that I will offer to Christine is not going to be the product that I will offer to Tatiana. And the product that I offer to Tatiana is going to suit Didier. So what I'm trying to say is that within the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to be so personalized that it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all. It won't work anymore because we will be so connected with our devices, those phones. I don't know what will happen, but I'm sure that we will be like 5G online 24/7, and that type of data will require that we are proactive and we cannot wait for the customer to ask for something. We have to provide it as they age, as they get into their new phases of life, as they have kids, as they have whatever. So we have to always be by their side. This is our motto, and we will keep being by their side, and we will keep being by your side. That's what we will do through technology and personalization. So I think that's why I see Socialbank in the next 10, 15 years.
Wonderful, Didier. We'll soon be able to say, Alexa, do the payroll. I think that's a wonderful way to end. Both Didier and Tatiana, it's been wonderful sharing the exciting news of Sogebank and having this conversation with you. I think it's a wonderful way to end from Tatiana, mentioning that the customer is at the center of all the decisions and the customer is actually guiding the direction in which you are moving. And with Didier, that you have technology, you're doing all that you can to bring the technology and to bring the services to satisfy this customer, and that you're looking into direction where it's gonna almost become more tech than fin, So it's been wonderful. I'm gonna pass it back to the Haiti Tech Summit team to wrap up. It's been a great session. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to each and everyone that was online with us. Thank you to everyone around the world in Haiti and everyone. We should probably do another one in Creole because we had a lot of people asking for Creole. But I think as English is the language of Haiti Tech Summit, again, this conversation makes sense to happen right now in English. Thank you, Christine. Pass it back to you.
Thank you so much. First off, can we get another round of virtual applause to our panelists and our moderator? We have something called virtual love on the chat feed, and right now people are going wild. So let's make sure, can we get some virtual applause on social media to the thousands who are viewing this across all our social media channels. Of course, on the chat feed, panelists, please look at the chat feed. It's going wild, and you have an engagement right now from across Haiti, across the Haitian diaspora, of course, around the world. Highly engaged community right now. And I want to end by saying that this was a phenomenal second session. You guys heard it here first. This is a part of the Socialbank series that's happening live right here, same time, same place, every single week, Tuesday, 11 a.m. So again, another final round of applause and a big, huge gratitude to our moderator, Christine Cooper-Jack, CEO of Dagmar Haiti. Please let's give her a virtual round of applause for moderating such an amazing conversation. Another round of applause for DJ Allen, Senior Consultant at Group Socialbank, for his powerful answers regarding the tech side of this pandemic and talking about how Socialbank is really digitizing our connection with banking, not only in Haiti, but it was amazing to see how people globally was responding to his responses. And without further ado, please, another round of applause for Tatiana Bernadel, Chief Commercial Officer at Socialbank, for her amazing insight, especially 5 months in, you really bleed blue and showcase your passion and your understanding of the Socialbank model. We're so pleased to hear your feedback and your thought leadership, not only on Socialbank's practices, but also the banking sector, bringing insights from the World Economic Forum, the fourth industrial revolution. Very, very powerful insights from our panelist speakers. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the second session. And like I said before, Socialbank is powering this session. They are passionate about the digital transformation of the banking sector, or else they would not be sponsoring this series. So this live experience is a testament to Socialbank's commitment to the future of digital banking in the country and around the world. So without that, next we'll be here Tuesday, 11 a.m., September 22nd for the third session. And let's do a little bit of mix up. We'll have some Creole and French, and a little bit mix of all different facets of the global Haitian community on that session as well. So thank you so much. Have an amazing day, everyone, and enjoy the compa music as we fade out and enjoy. Have an amazing day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.